Hello and welcome to Stahls TV. I'm Bob Robinson, and today we're going to spend just a few minutes of your time talking about working smarter and not harder. And now this isn't a, we all need some helps to make our lives easier. So we're not looking to, as a decorator, you need to make your lives easier so that production goes smoothly. We're not trying to be lazy here, but we're trying to pick up more time. We're trying to be more efficient within our processes as far as our decorating goes. So we're going to look at a few ways that we can pick up some time within your production process. Before we go any further, any questions that you have, just chime them in into the chat box, and the lovely Taylor will let me know if we have any there, and I'll try to respond to those as we go. But looking to work smarter, not harder, picking up some extra time within your production so that you have the time to sell more and to increase capacity so we can bring on more jobs, and who doesn't want more money? So the first thing, we're going to look at 3, maybe 4 ways that we can pick up some efficiencies in your shop. The first one is very logical to me, and that's at the heat press. So today we're going to step over to the heat press. Now normally, what usually sits here in this studio, those of you who are avid fans, you see the standard Fusion IQ. This today, we're looking at an upgraded model. Now this is the Air Fusion. So the Fusion IQ is by far our best seller. People and thousands of people have proven that it is our most popular press. But if you're starting to pick up production, if you're starting to gain more and more orders, it might be time to upgrade to the Air Fusion IQ. Now the Air Fusion IQ is a little different. It has all the same features that the standard Fusion does. With the threadability, the interchangeable lower platens, of course the very robust control panel here on the top. But what's additional here is you've got the hands-free, or not necessarily hands-free, but almost effortless motion. So essentially I'm pressing 2 buttons to engage the press. And then it opens automatically. Of course it doesn't need an air compressor once it slides open. So I've done nothing except press 2 buttons, and to retrieve it I'm simply pressing on a pedal down here to bring it back. What does it do for you? It's going to pick up some time. It lets me multitask while this is pressing. I don't have to be there to lift that. It's also going to give me less fatigue. So if you've got a lot of jobs over and over, a repetitive type of job, I'm not going to be tired at the end of the day because I'm simply pressing buttons and stepping on a pedal. But let's just go ahead and show how this works one more time. The effort was minimal. 2 buttons and it swings open. While we're here at the press, we're going to talk about the other features, even with your standard Fusion, that can be huge for you. And that's the combination of the interchangeable lower platens and having the right platen available to you. So being able to pull this off, the threadability and the ability, this is an Air Fusion. A little different than the Fusion. This pops off very easily. So having the ability to switch this platen out and having full threadability, look, nothing around here whatsoever. Underneath, this is fully open because it's up on its pedestal. Let me go ahead and click that in. Doing something like this quarter zip, which we do a lot of, very, very popular, getting away from the zippers and the collars and things like that, it's very simple now by simply loading it on this way. Now, you're saying I could use pillows and pads and do that, and that is correct. But there's something to be said for the efficiency of being able to repetitively run, put this here in the exact same place every time. So now I can just throw a design on here, ready to apply. I've targeted my area, getting rid of all the extra things that could be in the way. Pillows, pads have their place, but there's really something to be said for the streamlined efficiency that you can get out of that. And it's not just simple things like apparel, but especially now that we've got this extra room. Normally when I did an umbrella, I would, and I can still do it now. I'm going to try to stay out of your camera view. Let's go GoPro. Here we go. I can simply slide this on this way, and I can get the full access to this area on this umbrella. Didn't have to even open it. If I did have a larger umbrella, let's say a golf umbrella, for example, I need extra space. If I can get this open, I can still do that as well. And there's nothing here keeping me from The extra handle, give me a much larger surface there. So, auto open feature, auto swing, put that down before somebody yells at me. Having the interchangeable lower platens and full threadability can pick up a lot of efficiency using an upgraded air fusion. And that is all if you have repetitive jobs over and over. If I've just got like a couple of these to do, then there's a good chance that I won't take the time to change something out. Maybe I will use a pad. I'm going to throw the 16 by 20 platen back on. I can see it. There we go. There's something else we want to talk about when it comes to over and over repetitive jobs. Got the same job over and over that I want to do, and that's about placement. A lot of times when you are trying to do, let's just say a name and number combination, because that's what a lot of us do when we're doing heat printing. A lot of times we're spending a lot extra time measuring, aligning, realigning, trying to make sure that your job is perfect. We're very particular, and so are our customers. So we want to make sure that those names and numbers are straight and in the right place, repeatable over and over. And too many times, and if you hear that noise, that's the air compressor running, and that is what runs the heat press itself. Normally we'd like to keep that compressor a little further away so we don't have to listen to it, but it's right on top of us today. But most cases, people are decorating right now, they're utilizing a simple ruler. And we're measuring here, measuring there, readjusting, realigning over and over and over again, making sure that we've got it exactly right. Number spacing, an inch apart, spaced down from the seam, another inch. All those things we have to take in consideration, especially as we're placing loose numbers. Let's go ahead and load a jersey. And we're going to show you a really, really big help, and that's called the laser alignment system. There is a better way than all that measuring. Of course, you want to make sure the jersey is aligned properly, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the laser lights on now. I have pre-aligned these before we came. Honestly, I spent maybe 5 minutes getting this set up. And what we're going to do is apply 2 numbers to the back of a football jersey, 2 numbers and a name. So I have taken the time to put down the center, inch apart, a line here for the top of the number, and a line here for the bottom of the name. Now, of course, I need to make sure that my jersey is on the platen properly, and I can actually use those lines to help with that as well. I can see that I've got just about an inch from here to here. And I definitely have the inch here, and I know that they're centered because I measured that earlier. So if I did not have those lines, I would be here quite a bit longer than I really need to be. So I'm going to lay the number here, measuring on the top and on the edge. No measurement, just placing it on the alignment. Same deal here. And then I'm going to utilize the pre-cut name and lay that in the center. Now, how do I know this is right? Well, I can find the center of this name by simply folding it and getting a little crease as to where the center is. Now I'm just going to simply center it in that 1 inch mark. That is perfectly laid out to specification, an inch from here, an inch from there, inch apart, 12-inch numbers ready to apply. Now, there are other ways to get this you can get, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But when you're using loose numbers and a separate name, this is an absolute great way to go. So it's a great time saver, very affordable. It is sitting right now on top of, I don't recommend this little stand that we have here. One of the tricks I will say is make sure that this is on a good solid location. It's not going to get bumped around, because that's the only thing that can give you problems if this happens to move after you've got it all preset. Other than that, it's going to save you a ton of time. If you are cutting your own, if you're using a vinyl cutter, you're doing your own cutting, we've got another device, actually a couple devices that can help change your life if you're not there already. So everybody knows that, well, not everybody knows, but few people will say that weeding is my favorite. So when you're cutting your own, you have to weed away that excess. And if you're using a material that has a sticky carrier, which makes it a hot peel, that can be a lot of resistance there. The sticky carrier is great. because it will allow us to do fine detail, but it's not going to come off as easy as we'd like to. So introducing, if not introducing, but reintroducing over here, the weeding panel, the easy weeding panel. Easy weeding panel is nothing more than a heated surface here. This heats up to, and there are 3 settings, 110, like low, medium, and high, 110, 120, 130 degrees, depending on what you're comfortable with. It will heat up that heat transfer vinyl with a sticky carrier. So here example, and one of the biggest culprits is going to be glitter flake. Glitter flake, while we love the sticky carrier, it allows us to do the fine detail, it can be a little bit cumbersome because it tends to tear away when you're weeding it. But this will take a full yard of material, so it's like 20 by 36. It locks down with this device. Now I am ready to weed this had it been already cut. Place for my weeder, even a little storage bin here for all the extra weeders. You can never find those. That'll give you a good place to locate those. We've got a short video clip that we're going to go to now showing you how this can benefit you. Starting off here with this glitter flake. This is me weeding it without the aid of a weeding table. And there was no staging of this. This is exactly me trying to get it done. As you can see, the product is somewhat fragile. With the resistance on that sticky carrier, it's going to keep tearing. It's going to slow me down. Still got a little left there we got to get out. I didn't bother weeding out the cavities in each one of these. And actually, there was a little bit left on the other EC we see there. But now this is with the weeding time. With the weeding table, the time there is about 15 seconds compared to about 30 seconds on the other one. Exact same design, just put on the weeding table. So, if you're looking to pick up efficiency, if you're looking to get things done faster so that you have more time to sell more jobs and to increase your capacity by having additional time to produce more, then the weeding table is a great way to go. There is another version, which I will show you here. It's called the weeding panel. This one's a little more, obviously, a little more compact, a little more portable. Does the same type of job though. This heats up and it allows you to take it into the living room while you're watching TV, while you want to do some weeding and still increase efficiencies there. So 2 options, not a bad idea to have both. Now I know that I promised 3 ways in the title, but I'm going to get just a bonus. It's buy 3, get 1 free. And today we're going to add one more way to increase efficiencies and free up some more of your time. And that's like maybe have somebody else do the work for you. As we're talking about the services that Stahls can offer, both through custom and stock. As you saw, we were using stock numbers. Most affordable way to do sports lettering is with, or sports numbering is with stock numbers. They come in a 10-pack and honestly, an average cost of an 8-inch number using Thermo-FILM is about 35 cents, depending on whether you get in the kit or buy them in the 10-pack. So that's a great way to take advantage of that, free up more space. The numbers, that's the most affordable way, is to use the numbers. Now, when it comes to names, getting this player perfect pre-spaced player name, this is a great way to go as well. So the combination of the pre-cut numbers and have us cut the name for you is probably the sweet spot when it comes to apparel decoration for sports jerseys. You have your own cutter, I get it, and you can do this yourself, but you may be out of capacity or resources, or your weeder called off sick. You've got too many jobs, because you know what happens when busy season comes during spring sports, etc. Having that available to you can be huge. Also, it's not just sports. I'm going to slide over here real quick, but just like we listed earlier, you can have some custom designs. You send your art in, we'll do it for you, or you can actually utilize our CAD-CUT template, where you're actually creating the art online, and we send them to you ready to apply. So you may cost a little bit more if you don't count your labor. When you do count your labor as a cost, they end up being almost a wash. So again, leaving more time for just the pressing. As you know, it takes just seconds to actually press a design. So now I've got more opportunity, streamline my production, so I can make more money by bringing in more jobs with more capacity. I hope that this brief little demonstration has helped you think about how you can actually increase your efficiencies and have more time to sell more. Before we go, I do want to plug one of our Workshop Wednesdays. Workshop Wednesday, the next one is happening is on April 25th. It's Heat Printing 101. This is a longer program, it goes from 10 to 3. It's how to get started with your heat press. We are holding these at the same time at Texas, in Corona, and Arizona, and Florida. And I believe possibly Michigan as well. It's not listed on this advertisement, but I think you can look into that. So go on our site, look at the resources, and find out the events and see what's happening coming up. You can sign up for that. Look forward to having you there. Okay, that's what I have for you today. I appreciate you all tuning in. Do we have any questions at all, Taylor? We good? Man, I killed it. All right. Hey, it's great having you with us. We will see you next time. 2 weeks, we'll be talking about reflective. So put that on your calendar. Thanks.